We know how it all went down last night with the Chicago Bulls versus the Brooklyn Nets. But one of the stories I believe should came out was Patrick Williams actually looked okay on the bench. Is it where he belongs now? Then we jump into the mailbag after we talk about that. You already know. You gotta hit the music.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm with my dog, CDubb. How you doing, boy?
I'm feeling good, man. What's the word, man?
Man, if y'all like what y'all listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake the notification bell. So every time we drop, you'll be one of the first ones to know. Bring you daily content, live calls, post-game updates. Come on, y'all, tune in. But hey, we want to go ahead and talk about Patrick Williams. Last night, Patrick Williams was benched, as we called for. He played 21 minutes, gave the Chicago Bulls 10 points and 5 rebounds. Whoa, 5 rebounds, and even gave you one a little assist. But C-Dubb, 21 minutes off the bench, Patrick Williams looked like a different person, not gonna lie. Is it where it belongs now?
At this point in time, we definitely got to keep this guy coming off the bench. Just remember, when he was drafted, he was coming off the bench for Florida State. I don't know if this is where he wants to be, where he's more comfortable, but it seems that way. He looked more aggressive. It looked like he ain't got to worry about deferring to none of the big three core. Patrick Williams, this is what we need, and maybe a little bit more offensively if you're going to come off the bench. And I think this is the spot where he needs to be for right now. Once he get a little bit more comfortable, get a little bit more focus in his game and more concentration in what he has to do on that basketball court, then we can think about putting him back in the starting lineup. I don't think this is a permanent move. I think this is a motivational move by Billy Donovan. And so far, I think it's running okay.
Me too. It's something that it is what it is at this particular moment. We told him we ain't babying him. So this is the results of what you've been putting out there. And I understand there is more difficulty than what we think when it comes to him having to pretty much incorporate himself within the starting five and with the big three. That might just be too difficult for him, and he just kind of want to defer to the other guys first. Because if you're looking at last night, Zach LaVine shot 20 shots, DeMar DeRozan got 20 shots, Kobe White had 13 shots, and Vooch had something around that too. So if he was inserted in that starting lineup, how can he find his, especially if he, even off the bench, he's giving you 6 shots. And that's kind of like been what the theme was this season for him anyway. You ain't never seen him go over 10 shots this season. I don't believe so. So I think it's just where he needs to be right now. And honestly, he might be there for the whole season.
And this is not like something new. This has happened to Patrick Williams before. I think did it happen last year?
Yes, it happened last year. That's when Ayo got benched and he got benched.
So this is a common occurrence, but eventually he worked himself back up to the starting lineup. I don't know if the end game is for him to try to work and prove that he can play in the starting lineup, but I like what he brings off the bench. We did need some scoring power off the bench. So I think he could do better than 10 points coming off the bench. Let's see what happens with this. I think this is a great move by Billy Donovan. I must call it when I see it. It's a great move, bringing him off the bench. It's so early in this season. It's very early. What are we, 6 games in? Let's see how this affects the team. That was the first game against the Brooklyn Nets. You barely lost it. He was pretty good when he went out there. Let's see how this works.
I mean, but you did mention, so one thing I do got to ask the question. You did mention that you don't see it permanent, but you're going to sit him down for some games. How many games we talking?
Oh, until he proves himself. It's not a
so as a
this is indefinite.
To be determined.
This is indefinite. When you hear indefinite, you don't know when
for sure
when he's gonna come off the bench. So it's indefinite.
For sure. I can respect that because I'm looking at it like this. Sit his ass down. And I think the offense look a little bit more energized with Torrey Craig out there, and he's able to move a little bit more freely when it comes down to operating within the second unit. He's doing a lot more, some things that you never really get to see. But I also want to bring up this is why the DeMar DeRozan conversation of him moving out the way constantly percolates around Bulls media.
Yeah.
Simply because it's always the thought in most of our heads that, hey, maybe DeMar DeRozan is holding him back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way that the offense is ran. And then with DeMar DeRozan in the lineup, what a lot of people believe, P. Will is being forced out of position. And rightfully so. You can't the result speaks for itself at this particular moment. Chicago Bulls are 2-4 right now on the season. And they lost some games we feel like they should have won.
But what evidence is there out there to say that if he did play the 3 that he will perform? What
I
evidence
agree.
do we have?
And
So who knows? We don't know that he's
Excuse me.
going to take the 3
I agree.
spot and flourish. We don't know because look at what he's done at the 4 spot when I feel like he had ample opportunity to perform in a basketball game. So who knows what he'll do at the 3.
And that's a valid point, and that's why it's just a conversation that we can continue to go on and talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because we already see him deferring. Is he going to continue to defer? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or if you say, hey, now you're the third option, we need you. Is he going to step up? We don't know.
We don't know. And that's
So,
fair. That's fair. And it's all pointed to him. I ain't blaming nobody else but Patrick Williams. This is the year, bro. We ain't playing with this dude. We told you ain't no more playing with the young kid.
who else you ain't playing with on the Chicago Bulls? Because we got some things going on.
You ready? Nikola Vucevic. I know everybody. Oh, they can't pass him the ball. Are you ready, or you want to bring it in, or you want me to just go?
Go ahead.
Everybody is going to jump on the Nikola Vucevic bandwagon, and man, we can't even get him the ball in the post. And excuse me, he was wide open. He sealed his opponent underneath the basket. All of this stuff is true, but my man played 36 minutes. Went 6 of 13. I agree, he need more shots, but 6 of 13 for a center, and the guy that was guarding him was Finney Smith, and I think he's all of 6'8". Nikola Vucevic, when he does get the ball, he needs to put those bunnies in the basket. He needs to get better position in the post. I don't want to see you having to do 4 power dribbles to get into the paint with your post ups. Get down deep in the paint, Vooch. Everything is not on your teammates; it's also on you. Under 50% for a center for me is not good. So I'm just saying it ain't everybody else. It ain't just everybody else because I do think they should have had some entry passes, some easy entry passes. But this guy got to perform when he get the ball. Y'all just don't jump on his jock like he ain't doing nothing wrong. He definitely need to perform as well.
Yeah, everybody got their issues of right now. And that's why the Bulls not winning basketball games. So
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that and get into these voicemails. Shout out to CDubb for giving it to y'all. Bro, let us know how y'all feeling about Patrick Williams, though, before we move on. Hey, do y'all believe Patrick Williams should sit on the bench for the rest of the season? Or would you give him a certain amount of games? If you getting him a certain amount of games, would it be indefinitely, like CDubb said, or would you put a number on it? 10, 15, maybe 20? Or when you see something different, let us know down below. But now we're going to move on to these voicemails. We're going to jump right into it for the people that want to show some love to the podcast. Hey, CDubb, I had to save it for you, but Big O got a great take on Patrick Williams. I think you will like it. Here's the voicemail from Big O.
The word Cognac boy, CDubb and Body, man, it's Big O, man. I had to call it in, man. Hey, I agree with y'all, man. When that's what you talk about Patrick Williams, you talk about Patrick Williams may have to take the Kobe route, come off the bench for a little bit, get himself together and get himself right to represent himself as a better player for the starting line. I agree with y'all with that. I don't agree with CDubb on the Oklahoma City and Shea mid range. No, that's crazy, man. That's an MVP candidate right there. So I don't agree with that, but I do agree with the P. Will conversation. I want to say this. Patrick Williams, I don't really talk a lot about Patrick Williams because I don't really see him as ever being a guy that a lot of people think he's going to be. If the Bulls traded Patrick Williams tomorrow, it wouldn't really bother me. You know what I mean? Patrick Williams, he's a lot like Andrew Wiggins. You know what I mean? Different. It's a few differences about their game and situations, but just the expectations. Andrew Wiggins was I think first draft pick. Had a lot on his shoulders coming out, didn't live up to it. Obviously, LeBron came back to Cleveland, got him traded to Minnesota. Never really lived up to be the number one guy. Went to Golden State, yada, yada, yada. We see what happened there as a fourth option. He was a way more veteran player, more experienced player when he got to Golden State, and he was able to live up to that. But if I'm Patrick Williams, that's who I need to reach out to. I need to call Andrew Wiggins to figure out what did he do to maneuver his way into being who he is today. You know what I mean? And Andrew Wiggins still ain't a number one option, but it's cool. And Patrick Williams' situation, he's not the number one option either. So how can you replicate what Andrew Wiggins does for Golden State to what you can do for the Chicago Bulls as a fourth or fifth option? You know what I mean? He has to figure that out. I don't know if he ever will, like you said, Bobby. I mean, it's mental. Hey, it's a lot of players come through the league with a lot of game. They just don't live up to it, man. I mean, it's a lot. Look, it's a lot of players that's like that. I can't even think of none off the top of my head, but we know it and we see it all the time. I'm not mad. I'm more mad that the Bulls picked him over Tyrese Halliburton than anything. But hey, it is what it is. To me, I'm not mad at him for not being somebody who he's not. If he ain't that, then he ain't that. I'm not mad at you. You who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the organization for not seeing this and making this team better than anything. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. I'm definitely tapping in.
Shout out to Big O.
Big Oski.
Yeah, man, left a great take. CDubb. Yeah. My man said that, hey, Patrick Williams might have to go to Andrew Wiggins route, kind of. Well, what you think about all that?
First of all, if they have a conversation, they're going to be talking in sign language because both of them don't normally talk. But look, I like the take. I don't know what you're talking about with Shay. I'm gonna have to look and see what episodes you're talking about that you disagree.
When you said him and DeMar is not on the same level, mid-range wise.
Oh, I'll stand on that 10 toes. He's not on the same level as DeMar. DeMar's been doing it for a decade. Let's ease up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's gonna be good, but everybody needs to stop being frantic about this kid. He's gonna be good. Just calm down. Okay. With Patrick Williams, I like when you said it's not a physical, it's a mental. I know could you imagine Patrick Williams at a shrink or at a psychiatrist, bro? Then walks into the into the shrink's room or office, a big ass 30-pound guy, 6'9", just look imposing. She sit him down in a chair. She expecting some kind of grandiose voice, like some beastly voice, like are you ready? And you get to talking like that. You get to talking low voice, all soft. It is extremely mental. It's all mental with Patrick Williams. I agree with you. I don't know if calling Andrew Wiggins a help. I don't know if the conversation to go anywhere. That is not going to help. Andrew Wiggins is not going to help Patrick Williams. He's in a different situation than Patrick Williams. I think he went in a different path than Patrick Williams. But Patrick Williams is really on himself. I don't think anybody else can help him. Maybe his family and close friends, but ain't nobody else can help Patrick Williams, gang. Nobody.
And I think that's what Big O was alluding to, though, CDubb. I think that when he says that, I agree. Probably the conversation might not be the best. But if you look at how both of these players started their careers, Andrew Wiggins, bro, like he was supposed to be the one. The de facto number one with all the measurables, with all the skill, et cetera, in Minnesota, never really panned out. Then he goes on to a good organization, get in a better situation. He flourishes in that as the third or, you know what I'm saying, option. Because when they won a championship, we could probably say he was the second or the third option, right? So if P will, he might just have that type of mentality. But I do agree with you that if they have a conversation, they might be in there throwing up fingers and they might be thinking they game banging at each other. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay,
So,
I get it, but nah, it's up to Pat. Ain't no conversations gonna help nobody. I don't even motivation. Is this guy gonna motivate Patrick Williams?
bro, you playing for a rookie extension. That what motivation you
That's
need?
what
You
I'm
shouldn't
saying.
be having to tell me nothing about going to get $130 million.
And
You shouldn't. CDubb, you would not have to wake up and say, hey, Bobby, you know you got to go run those 2 miles you're supposed to run and stay in shape and go work on your dribble and work on your handle and work on getting your layup package and shooting shots. And I'm like, bro, I'm up before you even call me.
That's the point, though, nephew. I'm saying,
So it's
what
on him.
fucking motivation, other motivation do we need? His livelihood is on the line. He about to get 2 years, $10 million. That's what he gonna get.
Bet it up. But shout out to Big O, man. We gonna move along. Hey, this next guy left a voicemail. You did not leave your name, my guy. But hey, this is from the 615. Is what we gonna call you, man.
Bro.
I'm gonna sit there and say like this. I'm watching a podcast right now, and everybody on Patrick Williams and shit like that. So I'm looking like, man, you got 4 main guys that's on the starting team. You got Zach LaVine, you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Vooch, and then you got Kobe White. That's 4 main people that's scoring right now. So when the boys on to it, if the ball go to Patrick when he passes to somebody that's open, there you go. You gonna get 4 points again. So y'all got to get off of him now. Maybe they need to actually get rid of one of the 4. I don't want that to happen, but maybe they need to get one of the 4. Other than that, you know, he's going to get 4 points a game. Patrick Williams is going to get like probably 2 points a game, but he got to step up on other aspects of the basketball. So if we do that, we good. Other than that, yep, y'all have a nice one.
All right, so we heard from you 615. I like to say this. I can't get up off Patrick Williams, my guy. We've been waiting for 3 years. Well, this is year 4 now. I can't do it, bro. And I understand that there might be some moving away around and what we believe will help Patrick Williams be better if you move one of the players. But hey, bro, we see plenty of players move around when they're not even the third option, bro. Look at Michael Porter Jr. over there in Denver. I know it's a different situation, but I'm saying he does things to where he makes himself available and he's able to contribute in a way to help the Denver Nuggets be who they are. Patrick Williams, it's all about his aggressiveness. Can we name one time this season where Patrick Williams went from that corner when he caught the ball and drove into the paint to where he did like a little small jump hook shot? No. He's big and powerful. He should be chicken winging people up off of him and giving you a small little jump hook shot or something like that. But what we always see him do in that paint, dribble into the paint, never chicken wing somebody off and pass out of it.
Hey, look, man. Everybody like to say, how it's so difficult. And shout out to 615 before I say this. Everybody like to say, man, he's playing with all these players, these all-star caliber players, Nick Vooch and Kobe White and Zach LaVine and DeMar. You know what that sounds like to me? An excuse. Are you a hooper or not? When you get the ball, go and do what you got to do. It's just ball. It's hooping. When you get your chance, go and be aggressive. We ain't asking him to go score 20 points a game. Just go get it when it's presented in front of you. And stop thinking once, twice, and 3 times and turn the ball over when you're thinking too much. Just go and play basketball, Patrick Williams. You are so physically gifted. That's why we on your ass. We ain't playing with you no more. Bro.
We definitely not playing with him no more, man. But hey, we can't, bro. We can't. But hey, thanks for calling in, my guy. We appreciate it, but we ain't getting up off Patrick Williams. He got to show up, man. Can we get a consistent 10, 12 points a night? We should. But we haven't. So that's it. But hey, we move on to the last voicemail of the day. This is from Humble Servants. Shout out for you being a first-time caller.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, this is Humble Servant 1967. I just first time calling in, and I just wanted to commend you to Bobby and CDubb. Here I am thinking that I am subscribed. I've been following you guys since you started. CEO Hayes, and I was like NBA Central. I said, man, I ain't subscribed to these last 2 channels. This is crazy. So I had to call in to give a special shout out to both of you guys. It's great work. But now I got to get to the business. I've been following basketball. I ain't gonna say how old I am, but just say my kids take dirt. But the bottom line is the problem with the Chicago Bulls, besides Reinsdorf, they're an organization. And I rewatched that Dallas game 2 times, and it confirmed what I've been saying since we got DeRozan. He's the problem. There's a reason why San Antonio gave him up, and we gave up that draft pick. Hey, you go right ahead. We like you, DeRozan, and I'll hug you up when we play against you. But we're gonna get a better plan. We have to get a better player. And DeRozan is stopping every player from Zach to P. Will to Io to Vooch to Kobe. You just gotta watch him. And now you can't give him away now because we should have gave him away when he was hitting them. Oh my God, them shots! No, I'm done with this. If you're not gonna blow it up, which you should, get rid of DeRozan. Let the other players play. I watch as they flourish, and Billy Donovan loves that guy, and he puts him in and let him do the most undisciplined or organized, unauthorized shots, and it don't work. It's just losing. And if I'm going to watch a team play, let me see them run around. Let them play the right way, and they do. P. Will is not a power forward. He's a small forward. Give him the ball. I'm done. I know people disagree with me, but I want to get my thing in. But the most important thing is commend you gentlemen for making my day easier. Every day I go to work and come home, I get to see you. My wife and I watch and listen to you guys. Awesome job. Keep up the fine work.
Oh man,
y'all know we had to end that with that one. Appreciate it,
bro.
my guy.
Appreciate
Humble
that,
sir.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure. CDubb, what you got to say?
Oh man, I appreciate that once again, my guy. Make sure you tune in on the live calls. We want to get to know you a little better. Come and comment in the comment section and stuff like that. DeMar DeRozan, man, you know, this is his extension year. He's probably playing for an extension. I've always said, I'll say it again. DeMar DeRozan is the biggest catch-22 basketball player I ever played for the Chicago Bulls. Man, he can make he has some good moments with the Bulls. He can hit some game-winning shots, but he does what you just said he does. I think, but not probably to the extent you just murdered the man. You just really
went
cooked
4
him.
players. He hurt 5.
He cooked them and
He
fried
hurt
them.
5 players. That's a whole lineup.
But I do think some of those fallacies are right. But sometimes he could be so good. And remember that year when everybody was hurt and he carried the team into the playoffs. It's just a catch-22. I just don't know what to think about DeMar DeRozan, bro. I just don't know what to think, bro.
And this is why we were saying, hey, one of the big 3 need to go this offseason. We were saying it, but it is what it is. This is the team we got, 2-4 on the season, and we don't know what it's going to turn into. I'm going to try to hold out patience as long as I can. Well, not as long as I can until the 20 games I said I was going to give them. But through 6 games, I'm not really impressed. I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. And hopefully, if this continues to go downhill, a move will be made regarding either him or Vooch. I think the de facto player is DeMar DeRozan since he's on an expiring contract. You already paid Nikola Vucevic. You paid your young guys. That's the only thing that makes sense, but we know who we dealing with. So we just got to go ahead and chalk it up to that.
Yeah. So, and it's not like these losses feel like last year's losses. Last year's losses felt like, like you got bad taste in your mouth, like yuck, like you eating liver or something like that. These losses right here, like we just missing something. Like, what are we missing? Like you forgot to put the seasoning in the rice. What is we missing? Bro. But it's a different feeling. But you are right, nephew. It's 20 games, bro. We gotta start talking about stuff.
Facts.
Start talking about stuff, gang.
And lastly, Humble, thanks for calling in, man. We really appreciate those kind words. I'm happy that you and your wife enjoy what we do. We just do this to have fun and talk about the teams we love. So this channel ain't nothing without you and all the other supporters of this platform right here and everything else that we do. We've been doing Players Choice for the people that's into that. We've been doing NBA Central, Chicago Bears Central. We right here, Shy Boys Podcast. Been on 2 men in the drink. We been on a radio show. We
2
moving.
million
So
views.
appreciate. So we appreciate all that, man. Definitely been working, putting it in. And lastly, finally, I said last time. Finally, Humble. You gave away your age in your intro. Y'all want to know his age? Just rewind it back. Anything left, CDubb?
Hey, no, man, we on to the Denver Nuggets later on, man. So let's see. Can they surprise us, bro?
We'll see. We face the Denver Nuggets tonight. Make sure y'all tune in for the live call later tonight. We're going to be rocking and rolling Chicago Bulls versus Denver Nuggets. But in the meantime, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe here for all you latest Bulls content. And if you want to be a part of an episode like this one right here, call in 773-242-9219. This is another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. I'm Bobby. That's CDubb. We're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.